Game Silence, this is Jake. Oh yeah, we do have Battletoads. Yep, we just got a whole shipment of them yesterday. Are you interested in buying? Oh, you didn't think we would have it, did you? Yeah, you thought. No, we have Battletoads. I will set a copy aside for you. What's your name? Is that really your name? Okay. So, I'm gonna see you here this week, right? To purchase a copy of Battletoads? I'm sure I will. Have a nice day. Another Battletoad. Oh, hi. Hi. Welcome to Game Silence, the world's quietest video game store. Let me just take off my headset. My name is Jake. How can I be of assistance to you today? Okay. So you're looking for something very specific. Yeah, we aren't too busy right now. I would be very happy to help you through our inventory. So you said that you recently played Elden Ring just a little bit and you liked it and you're interested in playing that and other games like that. Well, that sounds great. Let me check my inventory real quick. Now, I do believe that we have all of the Souls, Bloodborne. We definitely have some Elden Ring in stock, so I'm going to search from software for you. Okay, so let's see. Now, is this for you? Okay, awesome. I love your taste. I actually am very familiar with most of those games, so I can give you my honest opinions and recommendations, and yeah, let you decide what you want to leave with today. I don't think if you buy any of them that you will regret it, and you will be occupied for a long time with games to play. Okay, so what platform would you be playing them on? You have a PlayStation 4, okay. Alright. Cool. It looks like we have a pile of them right over here. Let me just grab them for you. Excuse the creaky chair. So, I have 5 games for you right here. And, they are all call them the Soulsborne games. Now the Elden Ring is in there. It's a bit of a, I'm gonna have to come up with a new term for these. Speaking of that, it looks like we are out of copies of Sekiro. Sekiro is a very great game, and much like these, but it's a little different. And I can take your number down if you ever want me to get in touch and let you know if they are in stock. Okay. Yeah, could I just have your first name? Okay. It's a very beautiful name. And last name? Okay, and your phone number? Cool, got it. Are you interested in marketing emails? That includes coupons. Okay, we'll talk about that at checkout, don't worry. I am definitely someone who always says no to that question. Okay, yeah, so I think that the one game you came here, the great choice, is the newest game by Fromsoftware, the developer of all of these games, Elden Ring. Elden Ring is, as you saw, just a wonderful, beautiful, brilliant game. I have you, so you said you hadn't played any of the other Souls games, haven't played Bloodborne, anything like that? Okay, but you got a hang of the gameplay a little bit. Okay. Man, I'm a nerd about this. I mean, it seems like you're kind of set on Elden Ring, but if you want my opinion on how to really enjoy these games, since I'm a huge fan and I want to make a fan of you. Yeah, awesome. So, did you do okay with the combat? Yeah. Just to give you kind of a running start when you start playing this, I would say the number one thing you need to do is learn how the dodging works, the rolling. See, if I mess up this disc, I'll give you another one, but isn't that just the Elden Ring? You know, when I started playing this, I assumed the ring was like a ring you put on your finger, but it's actually like this big interlocking series of runes. It's very fascinating and beautiful, but yeah. So the rolling is a little counterintuitive because when you roll, you get what are called invincibility frames or iframes, and so during your roll, during a certain segment of your roll, you are invincible. Sometimes when an enemy swipes at you, actually what you should do is roll into their swipe, and that'll protect you. So that's just something to practice. It's about timing and stuff. And yeah, what did you did you play on your own game or your friends? Okay, so you kind of started a new game with your friends, and you were focusing on what kind of weapons, like the big swords and everything, sort of strength build. Yeah, I personally am a dexterity player, but yeah, and I think one of my criticisms of this game is that it's supposed to be like the more accessible of the Souls games, but it doesn't really give you any guidance on how to level up, and so I think that, like, you know, you can read about this stuff. I would just look up like what's the best decisions when leveling up. Like, you can decide on a lot of builds in terms of your damage, but I think the biggest thing is that you don't need to be putting points into every single slot. You need to sort of choose and specialize, except for vigor, or in other games it's vitality, the one that governs your HP. That one is like pretty much mandatory, and I would make sure to be focusing on that pretty consistently, because it gets pretty, you know, the enemies hit hard and you just need a lot of HP to absorb it. So yeah, I love the rise tarnished. That says in French, relevez-vous, dernier. A unique adventure. Create your character and charge into epic battles with dozens of powerful skills. I will say, if I were going to give you one more piece of advice, some beginner's advice is don't go for an all magic build. Make sure you use some melee weapons in the mix, because it's just magic. It's very, very helpful, and it is possible to play this game all magic, but it's harder. You have to preserve your magic points, or whatever they're called, focus points, and yeah. And for all of these games too, I really recommend, you know, reading the item descriptions, looking around, paying close attention just to enjoy the story. Don't stress yourself out, but notice things and wonder things, because and when you're not playing it, you can go on YouTube or like read online, read about the lore. The games have such beautiful, fascinating lore. Just brilliant. And this Elden Ring. Yeah, because you didn't see much of the story, right? Yeah, Elden Ring has. I think it was the only of these games to make me genuinely emotional. I'm hard to make emotional, but Elden Ring really feels like you care about a lot of the characters, and the lore is so thought-provoking. Because you have to make it in all of these games. That's what I love about them, is you kind of have to make a choice about the future of the world. And there's a lot of politics involved and such. Ronnie, you saw the werewolf Blythe? Yes. That's my favorite quest line, Blythe and Ronnie, and that made me emotional. Ronnie the witch and Blythe and... what's that blacksmith's name? I forget, it's been a few months since I played. But, yeah, definitely do Ronnie's quest line. So, decided on that. I'll just set this over here. And, so the next one I'm going to show you is my favorite, I think. If I don't like it more than Elden Ring as a video game, I think that it holds, it's not replaceable in my heart. Like, none of these I would sacrifice this for. And this one is Bloodborne. I'll read the back for you. Hunt your nightmares. Face your fears in this ancient city where danger, death, and madness lurk around every corner, and uncover the city's darkest secrets in order to survive. So I guess we're sort of going backwards a little bit in the development of these scenes. I'll get to the Dark Souls trilogy in a minute. And honestly, I think Bloodborne, this one is one of the most fun, I think, gameplay wise, and also has probably the most fascinating story. It has a very unique aesthetic. It's sort of like gothic, a little bit of steampunkiness. There's a lot of blunderbusses and it's not steampunk by any means. I'm just ignorant. But I think in any case, compared to Elden Ring, all of these are much more smaller in scale and focused, but beautiful nonetheless. I beat this game 3 times, honestly. I went from one game to the next to the next. So that doesn't make them any less worth the money. But yeah, Bloodborne is, if you might have noticed that some parts of Elden Ring are scary. Bloodborne is definitely scary. But if you could handle Elden Ring, you can handle Bloodborne. It's got I was really surprised to find it's like a Lovecraftian tale. Beautiful case. The disc is not in there right now. Of course, I'll grab it for you if you do decide to purchase it. The cover art, if you want to see here, that's the hunter. So you play as a hunter, and you're in this kind of gothic city, just like in Elden Ring in the Souls game. You're kind of at the downturn, the fall of an empire type period, not an actual empire, but these games usually take place on the brink of an apocalypse or the collapse of a political order, and then you sort of ultimately make the decision for where the world goes. But this one is you go to this city that whose economy relies on this ancient blood that they unearthed, and it turns people into monsters, and there's these great ones which are very Lovecraftian. It's like the type of things that Cthulhu was. These beings that drive you, you can't comprehend with your mortal faculties and stuff, and I don't know. But it's very fast-paced gameplay. If you there's no shields. It's all dodging, which sounds unappealing, but actually I prefer it. You get a gun and you can like shoot the gun, get the critical, and yeah, and oh my god, the creature design is amazing. So yeah, I would say of all of them, I mean, you're getting Elden Ring, but I would go with Bloodborne, depending on your budget. Alright, I'll set that here for you. Okay, I'm going to present the Souls games to you in a particular order. Of course, this is Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls Remastered for the PS4. Beautiful game. It is dingier than Elden Ring. It is very much a lot like Elden Ring in terms of aesthetics and gameplay, but I would say it's Elden Ring was, to me, the first of these games to have like happiness in it. Of course, it's a sort of sugar coating over a really dark, dark set of circumstances, but Elden Ring has characters that I think genuinely have good intentions that you fall in love with, and beautiful sights and everything. And of course, there are beautiful sights in all of these games, but not like the beautiful, gorgeous nature. Everything is dead, everything is in decay. Yeah. So, something really interesting is that I find this game to be actually easy now, and don't take that as bragging, but after playing Elden Ring, the thing about Elden Ring is that the bosses and enemies just have insane attack combos. Like, you fought Margit, yeah. Just one hit after the other. There'll be combos with like 7 hits in them, and this game, once you've, like I've said, learned how to dodge and block and everything, like in Elden Ring, the combos are much shorter for the creatures in this game, and it's still a great challenge. You won't get bored, and it's not going to be easy, I suppose, but I just found it really interesting when I went back from playing Elden Ring that how short the boss attack combos were and everything. So then there was fire. Alors il y avait du feu. Re-experience the critically acclaimed, genre-defining game that started it all. Beautifully remastered. Return to Lordran in stunning high-definition detail. So, then there was fire. This game, just like the others, has a very beautiful lore. And I just, with all of these games, just relish the atmosphere. The dialogue is beautiful, beautifully voice acted. The characters and everything, it's brilliant. And if you can't like figure out the backstory yourself, again, just read about it, listen to YouTube videos and stuff, because it's really beautiful. Just enjoy the aesthetics and everything. This game is you're lighting bonfires and stuff, and I also have to say I find the soundtrack and the sound effects in this game to be very beautifully haunting. There's just this whenever you load the game, there's this tone that plays, and you'll understand. I hope I'm selling these to you. Trust me, you'll know what I'm talking about when you play them. Okay, so let's check if the disc is in there. I'll recommend a build for Dark Souls. Okay, see, I'm a dex person. I used to, use strength weapons, but I prefer lighter, quicker attacking weapons. It's easier. I don't do PvP, by the way, so I'm not the best to ask about PvP. People love PvP in these games. I think that in 3, which I'm going to show you next, I've heard a lot of great things about PvP. But yeah, I prefer, okay, so the thing is, the Souls games and Elden Ring you know, just so you know, I beat these games without using the Uchigatana, but when I came back and I replayed Dark Souls 1, I discovered the Uchigatana and Elden Ring. I beat Elden Ring strength build before I did Dex, so just know that I can do that. But if you're a new player, especially, I think a great choice is to you look up how to get the Uchigatana, the katana weapon, and go for a Dex build. That's my recommendation because it's a great weapon. You can get it at the beginning of the game. You can use it the whole game if you want. General advice for all of these: upgrade your weapons, upgrade them. That is of top importance. The weapon upgrades are more important than the stat upgrades. Anyway, so I'm gonna show you Dark Souls 3 actually. Look at that beautiful cover art. Embrace the darkness. Includes full game and DLC content, Ashes of Ariandel and the Ringed City. I haven't played those yet. IGN calls it the grandest and fiercest Dark Souls yet, 9.5 out of 10, and I believe this won their best RPG of 2016. Game Informer says if you've never played the series, this is a great place to begin. I think, so Dark Souls 3, a beautiful, amazing game. And the reason I'm showing it to you before 2 is for 2 reasons. One is that it's more of a direct sequel to 1. You don't have to play 2. You don't even have to play 1. I would recommend playing 1 first, but because it does have lore links, but it's its own game, so don't worry about it too much. But then the other thing is that 2 is different, and it's controversial among fans of the series, and I went into playing it thinking I'm gonna have an open mind, and I was told, it's still a good game and all this and that. But nonetheless, I think I would not start with it. I think it's a little bit of a black sheep. I do like the game, and I thought there was a lot of beautiful, interesting elements to it that I wouldn't have expected in a Souls game. Visually, I think it's really visually beautiful, but that's an odd one. So, Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3 is, I'm gonna be honest, I think it's one of the hardest. It's the most tense that I've played of these games. Like, I just felt it's very good and very rewarding, but I just feel very tense when I play it. It's hardcore, but very visually beautiful. The enemy designs are great. It's horrifying. If you like Dark Souls, is a specific kind of horror because you're not just afraid of like a thing popping out at you. You're afraid of it murdering you. And there's just a lot of freaky enemies. There's these things near the beginning that are like big people and villagers, and they like say these like prayers or these, I don't know, they're these scary sounding prayers, and then they send out these curses after you. It's just really scary, but just a beautiful game. and definitely worth playing. And there is sort of a learning curve for this. It's not learning curve, but it's like it's really hard at first, but once you level a little bit, it becomes a little bit more even, and you don't feel like you're getting ravaged the whole time. I haven't beaten this one yet. I've gotten far into it, but I haven't beaten it. Yeah. Yeah, like as with all these games, what I love is that this is random, but since you're enjoying the conversation, I have a friend who is transgender, and she was talking about she thinks a lot of trans people are into the Souls games because it really is, there's really a sense of community between players of the games, because in all of the games I 100% recommend being connected to online. I mean, if you have the money for PlayStation Network or PS Plus or whatever, just like with Elden Ring, Bloodborne, and Dark Souls 3, or all the Dark Souls games, you leave messages for other players throughout. Oh, listen, it's raining. I love that sound. You leave messages to help each other, and you get rewarded if other players find your messages helpful. And it also leaves like traces, like quote unquote bloodstains, that you can watch the last 15 seconds of a player's life before they got killed in some situation. You can see what happened to them. It's about helping each other across worlds, and I guess in the way that it's a lot like in her mind how trans people, like especially on the internet and stuff, offer knowledge to each other and support to help each other survive. So I think the reason I brought that up is because if you're having any difficulty with these games, all you gotta do is go on the internet and see what other people have said. It's a game where you're gonna meet challenges that you don't think you can succeed at, and then you look for help and you ask for help if needed, and you can summon other players to help you with bosses too, which is a lot of fun. I love the feeling of like summoning someone or being summoned into someone's world to co-op with them against a boss, and when you beat the boss. And I especially love there's rewards for it in the game too, like when I get summoned and someone beats that boss, and it's like that boss is done for them, like they can move forward in the game now thanks to me, to my help. So yeah, I never thought I would be a fan of these games. I really didn't. I'm not into fantasy, but I think I'm into horror, and they are a lot more dark. They're not like bright sword and sorcery type of things. So anyway, finally we do have Dark Souls 2 for you. Ooh, and this says, prepare to die in a dramatically upgraded and different experience. They're really putting it up there first. This is the hardcore game series. Huge upgrades in visual fidelity and combat animations. Overhauled enemy placements and AI for a new experience. Improved online matchmaking and increased multiplayer scenarios. So, this is Scholar of the First Sin edition. It's a remaster with some changes, but you're still getting the experience of the story and the gameplay and all that. So yeah, this one is interesting. It's a little more cinematic than the others. It has more like interesting cutscenes at the beginning and speaking characters and stuff, and you start out the game in this, you get to this hub world, and there's a lot of people there. Like, it's populated. It's not desolate like in the Souls, 1 and 3, all the other games. there is a settlement, there's a little town, there's a talking cat, you know? It's a little bit more magical, but it's still very much Dark Souls. Controls are a little different. I mean, they're basically the same, but for some reason there's the 8-point turning instead of like analog, which is weird. So I don't know. Sorry, I'm complaining. I'm not really selling this well, but yeah. There's the disc if you want to look at it. Very, very soulsy. Yeah, so you know, this one is a great game and worth experiencing. Are you interested? Okay. Yeah, I won't be pushy. See, I am so passionate about these games right now that I forgot I was trying to sell you something. I would say, Scholar of the First Sin, you know, if you're not going to buy it today, go play the others and see if you enjoy it. And if you do, this one is well worth adding to your collection and giving a try, at least owning, because there is a lot of value and it is something that you want to own. So, all right. So, did you want to take a look at anything else in the store for now? Awesome. So happy that you are going to be trying out these games and that I've helped to make you a fan. So why don't we get you checked out? Just put down the ones you want to buy right here and I will, let's see, so of course we've got Elden Ring, Bloodborne, okay, and then yeah. Okay, cool. You have made a great choice today. And would you, before you check out, we can get back to that email thing. I would say it's definitely worth it to sign up for the rewards program. I know you know that I'm trying to sell you something right now, but just mathematically speaking, if you're gonna, there's no real, it doesn't cost anything to you. You will get offers over the email, which are, I'd say, valuable offers that you can use to get discounts. You will accrue discount points, and don't tell anyone I said you this, but you can just subscribe or unsubscribe from the first email. Subscribe to my channel, but unsubscribe from the first email, and you won't get bothered. I hate a cluttered inbox, okay? But nowadays, a lot of email clients like sort it into promotions, so it's kind of out of sight, and I think that's a good system, because if you don't want to miss out on some coupons, you know, whatever. Okay, well, with all that said, I've got your phone number and name, and I will let you know if we get a copy of Sekiro. I would definitely read up on that one, because that one is very good. Okay, and your email. Okay, was that? Okay. Yeah, could you spell the last name for me? Oh, okay. At what site? Okay. Sounds good. Alright. Cool. Well, just from what you've purchased today, you've got 420 points already, so when you get to 1,000, you will be eligible for a 10% discount. And then also, all games come with a kind of a member price, so you'll be getting better deals all around. Cool. Well, it was a pleasure meeting you. I would love to see you again in game silence. Just don't close the door too loudly when you come in. And remember, my name is Jake. Yeah, You might see me next time you come in here. I don't really have fixed hours. But yeah, I'd love to see you again. Let me know if you ever want any more recommendations or any help with anything. If I haven't played a game, I've read about it because it's my job. So yeah. Oh, the microphone. That's for surveillance. Yeah, my boss is an interesting guy. Yeah, well, you haven't said anything incriminating. I might have to go erase some of the recordings after what I said to you, but yeah, great. Well, pleasure speaking. Great to meet you. Go home and have so much fun with those games. And you call and you ask for Jake if you need any more advice, because I have beat Melania, and I've beaten a lot of things. So I can give you some tips, but don't let these games, don't let a certain challenge ruin these games for you. Just call Jake. Call Jake. Okay, thank you so much. Leave a like and a comment for me. Yeah, like and a comment. You'll figure it out when you get home.